Okay, so we are going to practice within the unit circle. Again, hopefully you have that note sheet. If not, just draw a big circle and an XY axis going through it. And we're going to look at reference angles of 30 degrees in all four quadrants on the unit circle. And hopefully, if you remember, that's not how you spell circle. There we go. Hopefully, if you remember from the warm-up video, that sine of theta is our y and cosine of theta is our x. So let's just recall off to the right here what the sine of 30 degrees is, which would be 1/2, and the cosine of 30 degrees, which would be square root of 3/2. And we'll just leave that off to the right just so we can use it as a reference. So let's start in quadrant 1 here and draw our 30-degree angle. Now, again, this is an x comma y, aka this is cos 30 comma sine 30. So what is this actual x coordinate? Well, our actual x coordinate here, cos 30, is root 3/2. So this point is root 3/2 comma 1/2. And that's our first 30-degree point on the unit circle. Again, this is 30 degrees. Now, let's find our other reference angle in quadrant 2. So again, this would have a reference angle of 30 degrees. It would have a rotation angle of 150 degrees. And let's find this coordinate. So this x comma y would be cosine of 150 comma sine of 150, which, what's the cosine of 150? Well, that's root 3/2. However, is cosine going to be positive or negative in quadrant 2? It's going to be negative in quadrant 2. So this would be negative root 3/2, comma, and then sine would still be positive 1/2. And that's that coordinate, right? So we're just kind of going around and we're finding all of the coordinates that have a reference angle of 30 degrees, right? So we can actually find these points now, and you're probably seeing a pattern. So again, reference angle of 30, and this would be a rotation angle of 210 degrees. I'll write that off to the side here. So this point, which would be cosine of 210, comma sine of 210, is now actually going to be negative root 3/2, because again, cosine is negative in this quadrant, because it's using the negative x-axis, comma, negative 1/2, because sine is also negative in this quadrant. And we'll do the last one here in black. You're probably seeing a pattern. This would now be positive root 3/2, comma, negative 1/2. So those are the 4 xy coordinates on the unit circle that have a reference angle of 30 degrees. I will let you guys do the 60-degree xy's. So again, and I'll let you finish this, but I'll get it started for you. This would be the cosine of 60 degrees, comma, the sine of 60 degrees. And you need to figure out what is that x comma y in all 4 quadrants. So I'll let you do that one. I'll have the answer key posted right next to it. And then I'll do one other with you. So head on down to 90 degrees and we'll look at that together. So the 90 degrees, so there's 4 angles we got to look at. We got to look at right here, which would be 0 degrees or 360. And since this is a unit circle with a radius of 1, this point is simply 1, 0. And if you go up here with a radius of 1, this point is simply 0, comma 1. And to the left, this point is simply -1, 0. And down here, this point is simply 0, -1. So those are the 4 points going by 90-degree angles. So I will let you guys finish the 60 and 45-degree angles. And I will post an answer key for you to check. All right, thank you.